West Coast is DJ Head. You can check me out live here at the Bootleg Kev podcast and everywhere that you get your Cracker Barrel.
Hey, we're about to kick off another interview brought to you by Hardin. That's right. If you're in Vegas, it's the #1 dispensary in the country, the craziest selection of premium cannabis. And all you got to do is shoot them a follow, Hardin_Las Vegas, HardinLasVegas.com. When you're in Vegas, tell them I sent you. Let's get into the interview. Yo, it's the Bootleg Cat podcast, man. We got a special guest in here. My guy, my brother, DJ Head.
West Coast.
Welcome, sir.
I'm back.
He's back. Yes. First of all, congratulations, Head. I want to tell you to your face because I know I texted you and I told you on the phone, but I'm just super proud of you, dog. I love you, and I just love the moment you're having right now.
It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Thank you.
And you've this whole time been pushing the same line. You've never swayed in terms of your integrity, and it's you played the very patient game, and I'm just glad to see everyone else recognizing what you've been doing for LA for so long, and obviously this moment with Kendrick and the pop out is,
Yeah, it was dope.
Couldn't have been anybody doper out there.
Shout out to PG Lang. Shout out to the Free Lunch Agency.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Shout out to the city and the homies too for really showing up and making the event a success. A lot of people had to put things aside and make sacrifices.
For sure.
It was dope.
Yeah, and for people who don't know, obviously you came out swinging, just with everybody and their mom, and I love how Problem ended your set because the crowd it was amazing. What was the process of putting the artists who came out during your set together?
I can't take credit for that. That was PG Lang.
So you didn't pick the artists?
Nah, that was PG Lang. They came to me with, hey, because you got to think, this is they don't do anything that's just loose leaf.
Right.
You've never seen anything just random loose leaf.
No, everything is very on purpose. Yes.
So they came to me and was well, first of all, shout out to Tim Henshaw and the Free Lunch Agency. They were Tim reached out and was hey, Dot wants you to open the show. I was like, are you fucking serious?
Right.
I was yeah, that's how we're going to kick the show off. You're going to be the first thing anyone sees on the show.
That's fire.
Oh, okay.
Right.
What's the play? And they're well, they selected artists. Here are the artists that here's the list that we're thinking of. And we just want you to curate this in a way that makes sense from a DJ's perspective. And I'm okay, bet. And 2 artists were added last minute, which was Zoe, Osama, and RJ. And those were super last minute. But I can't take credit for that. If it was up to me, it would be hella people that was. Vince Staples was gone, Greedo was gone, Joe wasn't there. It was a bunch of people.
Yeah, Joe Moses, I felt was the one that Joe and Greedo, in terms of having records that you'd be wanting to see the crowd
So my plan was, again, if you were watching the stream, or you were there.
I was there, yeah.
But if you were watching the stream, you noticed okay, I'm supposed to go on at 4. And the thing about logistics is we couldn't even fit everybody everybody that they picked, we couldn't even fit within the show. So I had to make executive decisions, and shout out to Perico and Kalen. Perico's his own artist.
Right. But he came out with Kalen.
I had him Keep Right With It with Kalen, and then I had AZ Chike and Rucci do the song together. It's their biggest song. It's called Light It Up.
Right.
So I had them do a song together, and I just kind of just made the call, hey, bro, Phoenix Flexing ended up being there. He was at rehearsal, too.
Yeah,
Shout out to Shoreline
honestly,
Mafia.
I was thinking that they were going to transition from Geek League to a Shoreline song.
No time.
Yeah.
And so, shout out to OGZ and Phoenix and Rory and their team for being understanding. But it was you got to understand, this is not a concert that's contained in the forum. This is being streamed.
It's a show. It's a production.
It's a full TV show.
Right.
That requires logistics and timing. We had to time our sets out. Mustard had to turn in his list of which songs he was going to play in the mix in between artists, before artists. Mm-hmm. And so at 4 o'clock, when I was supposed to start, we were running behind because for whatever reason, production was running behind. I couldn't even play the records I was going to play as a DJ set before I brought Rimble out. Right.
So you were supposed to hop on and just warm up the crowd as a DJ.
I was going to DJ.
Kind of like what Mustard did.
Correct.
Yeah.
I was going to DJ, but we were half an hour already into the show. Mm-hmm. It's we got to go. So, again, I would like to have everybody on the fucking show.
Lil Veda,
Lil Veda, I wanted to have Lil Veda on. I wanted to have, everyone who knows me knows what I'm on.
For sure.
I would have everybody on the show.
For sure.
Logistically, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. We don't have time for that. Whatever. So I just made do with what I was given, and I didn't. I had to sacrifice my DJ set.
Right.
And it just is what it is. Like I wrote a monologue. I wrote a monologue that I was gonna say. Mm-hmm. Then I had after the monologue, I had a DJ set, and then I was gonna bring Rimble out. I just came out, said a little quick something, and brought Rimble out.
And that was Rimble's first performance ever.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, shout out to Rimble. I mean,
shout out to San Pedro.
Kicking it off.
Yeah. It was a big, and you know what? And that was changed in rehearsal as well.
The song he did or him opening?
Him opening. I was going to have, so again, we're DJs, so you understand. I was putting the set together. So the idea was, hey, there's 3 names on the marquee. It's you, Mustard, Dot. As you're putting the set together, Dot's gonna do a performance. You and Mustard have DJ sets, but live performances of the records. So I'm putting the set together like I'm DJing in the mix.
It felt that way,
and people are coming out as I'm playing the records.
It felt like it was building up to me obviously like what and RJ towards the end, because like NOGZ towards the end. It's like it just was it made sense.
Yeah,
like,
it wasn't even like, oh, this person's new, or because I was my initial set, and I ain't think I ever said this, but. My initial idea, I was gonna have Wally open because he was gonna come out and do a cappella, and like how we did the set.
Right.
I was gonna have Wally the Sensei come out and do 03 flow.
Yeah.
And it was gonna be a cappella just to set the tone, and then the beat comes in, and then I was gonna have like a roller coaster, like okay, we're familiar with this, kind of unfamiliar, and then go back up.
Right.
Then as we were going through it, it didn't feel right in rehearsal, and shout out to PG Lang, the homies over there, like. They just let me make calls, and I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna change the whole set around. Let me work on it, whatever." And they let me do my thing.
What was how like you said that Zoe and RJ got added super late? Was that like your call or their call or?
It was just I just got the call like, "Hey, we want to add RJ. Can you call him?" I'm like, "Yeah." It was 7 a.m. the day of.
Oh shit!
It was just like that. It just honestly just went hella fast, and. I think, for the most part, they did a good job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. It was great. And then, do you know the background? Because I remember seeing like a paper of the set list for Mustard, and Tyler wasn't on it.
I didn't know Tyler was going to be there.
I
didn't know Tyler was going to be there until he was walking. He literally walked past me backstage. Like, we were in the hallway. I was right outside of Kendrick's dressing room. Mm-hmm. So, because I was waiting. Top had went in to go talk to him. I was waiting to go in and talk to him. And so Tyler walks in the door, we shake hands, and he was like, and even Salas was like, "That's Tyler, the Creator." I'm like, I didn't know he was going to be here. But it was that happening right in that spot where we were standing. Like LeBron walked by, and then fucking, I don't know who else. I'm like, The Weeknd walks by.
Rick Ross was there.
And I'm like, yo, what are these people doing here?
Yeah,
they're not on the set list,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't see Dot's set list, but me and Mustard had to collaborate on our set so we didn't overlap. Right. So I didn't know about none of that shit. I didn't even know Tyler was performing. I had no idea.
Yeah, that was out of the whole night.
I'm just backstage and I heard the arena losing.
The Tyler crowd pop was outside of Kendrick. I was just the Tyler coming out. I don't think anyone expected it.
Nah, I didn't know.
That shit was crazy.
I didn't even know what Dot was gonna do.
I gotta ask you this. I was surprised that LeBron didn't make his way on stage because it feels like the LeBron thing to do. Did he? Do you know if he tried to get on stage?
Nah, he didn't.
Okay.
He was chilling where he was at.
He was just chilling.
Yeah, because there was this little area where we were all hanging out, whatever, like side stage, and he was just over there with his family or something, chilling.
Yeah, we were talking about things being like super intentional and like there were people who were there who could have came out and did stuff, but they weren't from LA.
Yeah.
And everybody who came out performed. The only thing that wasn't LA that happened was E40 narrating the show.
But you gotta have that.
Yeah, but I mean that was purposeful, right? Like nobody who touched that stage wasn't from LA.
I believe it was intentional. I never even asked about it.
Right.
I didn't approach it like, yeah, this is my shit.
Yeah.
They gave me, hey, this is what we need you to do. I just executed my job. I didn't question anybody. I didn't do anything. It's just like, because it's not about me.
Right.
And I think that a lot of people can attest to that. Even the way I was conducting the sessions, it was like, it's not about me, bro. It's not about you. It's about Dot and this, and we need to make this look dope collectively. Mm-hmm. So I didn't even approach it from like, oh, here's my input on this, or this is what I think. I just was worried about getting the task done. I didn't.
Yeah, it's crazy too because like being there, like just from like a fan, I actually watched the show. I mean, obviously my son was there, but Letty was sitting next to me with Jorge, and it just felt like one of them moments of like, man, I'm gonna remember the rest of my life. I was sitting right here.
Facts, me too.
Like when it kicked off, like when Kendrick came out doing Euphoria, which is my favorite song out of all the songs that have dropped throughout this whole thing. I lost my fucking mind, bro. But like you standing there, did you kind of feel the like gravity of like?
Yes.
You did.
By
the way, you should have gotten better position on that photo because you're getting cropped out on all here because you're right on the edge.
Yeah, I'm not tripping about that. You know how I am.
Someone made a T-shirt and like you could see half of you on there.
I'm not tripping.
No, I know you're not. But
so before I went on stage, because we had our cues, we worked out our cues, and E40 starts playing, and I'm just standing there on the side. I'm like, okay, all right. I'm trying to remember some of my monologue.
Right, so you can get some shit off.
So I can get some shit off.
Yeah.
Because other than that, I would have just read the whole thing and, did the whole teleprompter or whatever it was. But I was trying to get my shit together. I was trying to remember certain things that I did want to make sure I said.
Right.
And then at that point, you just going off feeling. So I just went up there, and at first I stood behind the turntables, and I was just like, all right, let me just get right to it and not hold people up. Then I'm like, nah. Let me go ahead and take the moment and just work the crowd or whatever and let people see me and try to absorb some of that energy. But to be honest with you, I wasn't thinking about it. If you think about it, you'll fucking psych yourself out and you'll lose your shit
for sure.
So I was just telling, like, even backstage when we were I was lining the homies up and telling them I couldn't, because people were like, "Yo, this is fucking crazy. This is history. Like, you understand? I can't get in that because if I get into that, then I'll fuck up." Miss a cue or miss a, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you just got to play the game. You're in the game.
Just do the work.
Yeah, it worked out, man. It was wonderful. I got to ask you, man. Like you also just launched the new radio show on Sirius with Gina, effective immediately. 3 weeks in, 2 weeks in.
3 weeks.
Third show just aired.
Yeah.
How's that been?
Life changing.
Like, it's like, obviously Gina has been doing her thing, putting in work for years behind the scenes, in front of the camera, whole fashions, etc. All the way back to when she was doing stuff with Adam. So what was it? Like, give me the background of like when the idea started with her to do this show.
So honestly, we've been working with Gina, 4 years now? Something like that. And she's been on our team, and, like, I mentor her and try to make sure like everything's straight. But then one day we when I left iHeart and she ended up leaving No Jumper, we both had an idea. Well, we were trying to figure out like what the idea for the show is. Mm-hmm. Like, what's the idea for the show? What's the premise of it? So then we were trying to come up with names and ideas, and we were shooting it back and forth. And then we were on the phone with Silas one day, and I said, and I forgot if she said it or I said it. It was like, yeah, we want to feel something like when you get terminated. It's like something effective immediately. And Silas just goes like, wait, what would you say? He's like, something like, because we're trying to play on the fact of our employment status. When you get them letters, effective immediately, you are no longer with the company, blah, blah, blah. And so Silas was like, what would you say? I'm like, yeah, something like that. And he was like, that's it. I'm like,
effective immediately.
It's like, effective immediately, that's it. I'm like, yeah. And then we just kind of ran from, and then I went, shout out to J1 and, Ron Mills and Sway. Sway really, because I called Sway like fourth quarter last year, and I was like, yo, I want to do the syndicated thing, blah, blah. He put me in touch with the higher ups over there, and they end up giving me what I wanted. Like, we did a non-exclusive deal, so I'm going to syndicate not only on Sirius, but on terrestrial FM radio. That's got some announcements coming out in the next couple weeks. So yeah, that really is how it started. But where I see it going is bigger than radio or podcast.
Because obviously you and Chuck started together doing Homegrown Radio. So with the new show, where does that leave the Homegrown Radio?
So Homegrown, we're still doing our thing. I look at Homegrown more like the Rap Radar shit.
Okay.
Like when B-Dot and Elliot was doing their thing. So that'll be more sophisticated.
Okay.
We actually are doing. We have one Rhapsody dropping soon.
So more like the long form.
Yeah. Effective
2-hour talks.
Effective immediately is like the radio show, daily talk, topics, news, fun, whatever. Also celebrity interviews, stuff like that. But the Homegrown pod is more like long form, deeper conversations.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's the one thing about radio nowadays is just like, I mean, shit, man. Where do you feel? I mean, look, you've been out of radio, what, 2 years?
2.
How do you feel?
Going back into it?
Yeah, because obviously, you know, I don't want to get into the background of why things didn't work out at iHeart for you, but it was an interesting situation in which I remember we went to a concert that was sponsored by Amazon Music once.
It was Kendrick Lamar.
It was.
It was Kendrick Lamar.
It was, yeah, and there was Amazon Music
And
pillows.
we had an iHeart suite.
Yeah. And we're like, oh.
That's interesting.
But with that being said, getting back into it, because, you know, at the end of the day, like, radio is not what it used to be, but it's also, if you do it right, if you know what you're doing, if you know, aren't just mailing it in like a lot of these personalities are across the country, there is a place for it to still matter.
It does matter.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I think it's in a place where, I think that all free medium is going to be around forever. TV, radio, same shit.
100%.
Freebie, it's all going to exist because it's a free medium and people don't have to pay to consume it. But I think where radio is going is bigger shows, less personalities. I don't necessarily see like a lot of smaller shows existing anymore. I don't think that people still care about having a personal connection to the station and the radio. Mm-hmm. They don't care about live and local. They just want good content.
Yeah, and they want to hear they want to hear their favorite song in the morning.
That's all they care about. Like, because even when you talk about like hip hop in the sense that people are like, oh, we want that pure shit. People don't give a fuck. They want jamming ass songs.
Yeah, they just want to hear what they want to hear.
That's it.
It is what it is. Like, that's why there's research and call out and all that shit. Like, you know, and I think too, people got to understand that, like, what we call P1s in radio, which are like the diehard, show up to the remote. Back in the day, you'd have a bumper sticker on your car.
Yeah.
Those people who are like P1s, they're not like, at the end of the day, those are, for the most part, you want to have, not to get into the fucking geekiness radio talk, but you want a P1 to try to get a meter, right? If you're a radio station and a P1 of yours gets a meter, which is how they get ratings, they calculate them through PPM, then you're lit because they're going to listen all fucking day. But usually those people who carry the meters, who determine the ratings, or who are P1s, they don't care about the double XL freshman cover that just dropped.
No.
They don't care about, like...
They don't care that Vince Staples wasn't on stage at the pop-up.
Nah, they're just like excited for the Kendrick moment and Drake. And that's it's almost like this Kendrick and Drake thing this is about as good as it's going to get in terms of real hip hop and bars and, like, you know, the art form being like so commercially like working. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these records are like, Euphoria is a 6-minute record getting played in power rotation.
And it's not really a hook on it.
There's not a hook anywhere.
Well, there's a repeat, but
I hate the way that but still, but it's like that's where we are.
He tried.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there you go. There's a little something for you.
But it's just, you know, I think people got to understand that, like, when we do radio is different than when we do the YouTube stuff or when you do homegrown radio or when you do your shit, because it's like, bro, the radio shit is I don't want to use the word microwavable, but it kind of is. Like, it's surface level listening.
Yeah, it's just background that people put it on while they're at work.
And the people who are like diehard into the station, for the most part, they're usually like mid-30s, like early 40s, and they love their station that they grew up listening to, and they don't understand they don't want to get Spotify because, you know what I mean? Like, so I think it's just it's a different thing. Like, when we do our radio show, me and James, it's way different. The shit we run through the filter, like, should we talk about this? Like, I don't know if...
They don't care about the double.
You know, a 34-year-old female who's working 2 jobs and got 4 kids gives a fuck about.
Nobody cares about that stuff. So it's hard. I mean, it's not hard. As long as you know what you're doing, you can pick good content, pick good spots. You make good radio.
100%. What do you think about the freshman cover that just dropped?
I don't care.
It said "Not Like Us" with absolutely 0 LA artists.
I swear I don't care.
Yeah. I think the biggest commercial, like, because I've tried to see it through I'm running a New York magazine, because that's what I look at Double XL as. It's Vanessa and them are all in New York, right? to me, the biggest snub would have been 310 Baby in LA.
Well, see, the thing is, and I don't care necessarily about the fresh. I stopped caring about a lot of that shit.
Right.
Here's a barometer on what DJ Head cares about. If you see DJ Head involved in it, then he cares. We got snubbed in Grammys over and over again. I went and joined the Grammy board.
Right.
My people in the community. I went and joined the Boys and Girls Club. I joined radio station because I care about radio. Like YouTube, podcasting, content. I care about those things. If you don't see me involved in it, I really don't give a fuck. And the thing is, the XXL freshman cover is just an example of institutions not being culturally tapped in, which that's not a far-fetched idea. Most of these platforms and companies are not tapped in. They're not, I won't say tapped in. They're not culturally aware of certain things and moments that actually matter to the culture.
Yeah.
If it's supposed to gauge cultural impact.
Right.
And so, like, when you have 310 Baby, who did probably belong on the cover.
For sure.
Right? Then you take something like Not Like Us and you put that and you make that the subheading for it.
Not Like Us meant like us in LA.
Well, no, I don't. To me, there's people in New York who just like, oh, let's use this.
Yeah, this is
cool.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand the cultural relevance or impact of what this thing is. Right. And that has been my problem throughout the last 2-3 months that everything's been going down is you have to be culturally aware so you don't culturally play yourself. And that was my thing with the whole battle back and forth, or even with the XXL. It's like a lot of things have cultural nuance that people don't understand. And if you don't understand it, you should just be like, hey,
I don't get this.
I don't get it. Hey, you know what I mean? Woo, woo. I remember you during, was it 2020, when everything was going down with George Floyd, you would call me, you would call Silas. Hey, bro, I want to do something. Like, how can I help? Like, what can I do? Those things matter because now it's like, okay, if I don't know, let me tap a motherfucker in who knows. How can I be of service? How can I help? This cover shows to me same thing everything else has been showing me, whether it's award shows, whether it's whatever. It's just you don't have people in the room who are either one, confident, boisterous enough, or who don't even have the platform to speak up and say, hey, we probably shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? You know what we shouldn't do? We shouldn't be a half white, half black person and make reference to somebody who's culturally black and culturally potent, rich in culture, and say, hey, you're rapping like slaves. Who's in the room for that?
Yeah.
So I look at all those things as the same thing. It's not to slight anybody or to diss anybody. It's just no one's in the room and has the authority or the platform
or the nuts to speak up.
No, because sometimes people don't want input. And so it doesn't necessarily have to be nuts. It could be you don't empower this person enough to challenge you on this.
Right. Yeah, that's funny. That's one of the things I tweeted. I was like, imagine getting dissed for your music having substance. Like, what? What are we doing? Like, no, that's real. I just thought, it's funny because I posted the cover and I didn't even read the Not Like Us part. I just put, I didn't even see that.
So you gotta read, Kev.
No, I just posted it because I got OT's my boy and I'm happy for him.
OT, man. I fuck with Mexican
and Big
OT.
X the Plug and Skilla Baby. Like, there's guys on there that really deserve to be on there. But like, I was just like, there's nobody from LA. Like the two names that was 310 and Zoe, and it was like I know for a fact. I looked up on Spotify just to see monthly listeners, and I was like, Zoe Salva's got more monthly listeners than like half this cover. Like,
hey, bro, my thing is, again, I always say this. And actually, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not gonna rehash that point. I'll say this. What we heard is niggas don't like the West Coast, and that's fine with it. I'll push the line with it.
Hey, that's some. Yeah, I feel like what, dude. It's crazy because me and you would always have these conversations about like the bias that's in the industry,
which is why I'm overtly biased.
Right. But it's funny because I used to always just be like, I don't know, man. Like, you might be wrong. Like, yeah. But when I see like the way these guys just hate what's happening right now for no good reason other than the kids from LA, it feels like at least. Like the mall thing is super strange to me. Like, just like, it's just, it's true. Motherfuckers really just don't fuck with LA. And
it's not even the LA. They don't fuck with the Bay either.
The whole West Coast.
They don't fuck with Seattle. They don't fuck with like Arizona.
Yeah.
They don't fuck with Nevada.
Nothing. It's crazy.
They don't fuck with Albuquerque. I know a fire ass artist from Albuquerque. I know his song. I don't know his name, but he's fire from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
It's crazy.
The thing is, bro, they just don't fuck with us, and that's okay. But at least say I don't fuck with you. Right. That's why I respect people who are overtly racist, right? Because it's like, hey,
at least I know where I stand with you.
That's it.
Don't be secretly racist.
Don't be secretly racist.
Yeah, because that's
say that shit with your chest.
That's where systematic racism kicks in.
That's where I was challenging during the back and forth. I'm like, bro, don't secretly give Bootleg Kev the record and the records don't exist nowhere else.
Right.
Put the record out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, let the world know how you feel.
Yeah, plant your flag officially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. When because I know you and I were talking a bit about during I talked to you the Friday night that was probably my favorite night as a hip hop fan of my entire life. And that's
because you messy.
I woke up in the morning and the Compton record had dropped, which was the final, hey man, are you sure? Are you sure? Later on that night, I'm driving to Arizona with my sister and my kid in the back seat. And then Family Matters comes out. And I remember I listened to it. And I think I called you.
Yeah.
Before Meet the Grams came out.
You called me.
And I was like, oh, he ain't got shit. He's just making shit up.
Yeah.
Like, because anybody who knows Dave and Kendrick and their dynamic, you're like, oh, you're really just throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. And then like 20 minutes later.
No, 15 minutes.
I'm refreshing my shit. I'm like, what the fuck? When I first heard Meet the Grams, dog, I was screaming. I was like, I couldn't even believe it. It was like, and like it could have ended right there with No Not Like Us. And it would have just been like, you sucked the life out of this dude, man. But then, was it Saturday?
Yeah.
The next day?
Yeah.
Not Like Us comes out, and it's a hit record. And I'm just like, bro, because, I've been sending tweets. Because, I've been extremely critical of Drake for years. I'm a big Pusha T guy, huge Kendrick guy. And so I remember I've been tweeting like, this ain't what, like, after Like That came out, this ain't Meek Mill. I kept tweeting, but hey, I was tweeting shit without knowing anything. I was just tweeting Boogeyman loading. Like, just shit that I was just, because I know, like, this shit is different. And so when Not Like That came out, I just felt like everybody could suck my dick, man. I told y'all. And by the way, man, all you fucking Drake beehive weirdo ass bot ass accounts, I did not know that there were grown men whose whole entire life revolved around leaving comments on Twitter, you fucking incel fucks. Stop playing Fortnite and beating your dick to fucking The Motto.
The Motto's a fire record.
Great record. Shout out to, might be the most culturally tapped in song he's ever done.
That's not true.
Shout out to the Bay.
Culturally tapped in? No, he's done other.
He went to the Bay. He had Mac Dre's mom in the video.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like from? Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway,
but
I didn't know. But I'm sure you've been dealing with these same comments.
Oh,
right?
I don't even.
No, but it's crazy.
Oh no, I've been taking screenshots. I'm gonna make a scrapbook out of all of my slander.
Oh, it's so crazy.
I've been getting slander for what, 2 months, 2.5 months.
I had everybody say I'm glazing. Hey, yo, what's it like?
I just learned that one throughout the battle. Glazing.
I always pin the most disrespectful ones.
You pin them.
Yep. Or retweet.
Hey, yeah, I just learned glazing like in the last 2 months. That was a good one. I didn't know what the fuck they were saying initially.
Apparently, I'm Jay Glazer, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm DJ Gibbs' head who glazes.
All right, man. My bookie, use the promo code Bootleg right now when you sign up for a new account for that first deposit bonus. Now, this is what's dope about my bookie. Obviously, you can still bet on baseball right now, get in on all the MLB action with the sports book, but also the full service, full-fledged casino. Yes, what are you into? Blackjack with live dealers, roulette with live dealers, If you're into slots, they got everything, all right? Sign up right now, mybookie.ag. And when you sign up, use the promo code Bootleg. That new account, you're going to get that first deposit bonus to gamble with some free money. What are we talking about? Let's get this money. MyBookie, promo code Bootleg. Sign up right now while I drive and shoot a commercial for the podcast. Let's get back to the interview. Also, shout out to the good folks at Blue Chew. Shout out to Blue Chew, man. Look, it's hot as hell outside. I don't know what that has to do with Blue Chew, but usually when it's hot, you want to fuck some more. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, if you would like to, get over your erectile dysfunction, if you're dealing with that, maybe you're a little stressed at work, maybe you're tired of your partner. Maybe. Maybe. Well, guess what? You can try Blue Chew right now. A free month supply of Blue Chew delivered right to your door. Go to bluechew.com. Use the promo code Bootleg right now, and they will send you a month's supply for free for only $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code Bootleg. Now, what is Blue Chew? It is the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. It is in a chewable form. It is delivered right to your doorstep in a discreet package. And the best part about all of this, you don't have to go sit down and talk to a doctor in person. Everything's online. It's quick. Boom, boom, boom. And then your dick is rah. You know what I'm saying? That sounded like a designer ad lib. You know what I'm saying? But look, your penis will be fucking yoked up, bruh. Go to bluechew.com, promo code Bootleg. Let's get back to the interview. Anyway, the whole time, I've just, shit.
The thing is, what's funny about when you were driving, I remember when you called me, but beyond that, Family Matters drops. The video is out. I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, okay. He shot it. He'd spend some money.
Ain't even the right type of van.
Fuck it. Whatever.
Right.
It's symbolism. Cool. Whatever. I don't expect him to understand. You know what I mean? Maybe he couldn't get the van in time. Who knows?
Maybe.
So I'm like, yo, I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, he went to the restaurant. That's such a Drake thing to do. Then I'm looking at it, and he says this stuff about the homies. I'm like, oh, yeah, he got nothing.
Nothing.
Like, that's crazy.
The most memorable line that Drake said throughout this whole thing was about Metro Boomin. Shut your ass up and make some drums.
And I'm just like, wow. Then I thought it was a miss because, well, again, you wouldn't know this if you're not culturally of that. But when someone directly is pressing your line, you address that person, not everybody who has said anything. So I think you segregated your attention span, and now you've left yourself vulnerable.
It was 2 records in a row that he addressed everybody and not just Kendrick.
And again, not having people in the room who like, hey, you know what? That's not. No. That's not the play.
It's funny because when he put out the last record that was like the White Flag, I called you again right away. And you were like, it's over. It's over. I talked to Kendrick, it's over. But it's funny because I thought, well, at least he addressed him directly for a whole song. Because he didn't do that prior to that. Because it's like, what? Again, it's like, we know he's short. We know. Like, he's a short guy. And he cares about his people. And he wears a certain size shoe. And,
you know what's funny is when the initial... Again, I want to shout out to Dot and Dave and Ant too, because it was a lot of shit going on, and they empowered me, but at the same time it was still like I wasn't speaking for them. I wasn't fully aware of everything that was going on until like later on. But when the push-ups shit came out, somebody told me that he called the record Push-Ups because of what I said. Because it didn't have a title. Remember, it was just a record.
Yeah, it was just
a song, and Academics was playing the record or whatever. And he didn't put it out. It was just Academics was the only one in the world with the record.
And the first version was like...
It was like a leak or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, cool. So I said what I said, like, about you posting pictures or whatever, and then your Push-Ups record. And then somebody was like, yo, the next day I found out when it would actually get put up. Somebody called me. No need to say all of that, but someone called me and said, yeah, you must have really said push this button because he's putting the record out. I said, when? He said 30 minutes. I said, say less.
Yeah, because you said it's not on DSPs.
It wasn't anywhere.
He hasn't claimed it.
It wasn't on his SoundCloud. It
Right.
wasn't anywhere. Ack was the only person with the record.
Right.
So I went on Twitter and I was like, yo, the boys putting the record out. It'd be up in 30 minutes. It was up 30 minutes later. Push-ups. And so I think that's when people were like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows what he's talking about.
And then you called the Camila Cabello thing.
That record's coming out.
But you called that.
The thing is, bro, and this is, I'm going to say this.
Because what did you say about it? You pretty much said, don't hold up that young lady's record.
Again, I had information about him holding up a record for Camila Cabello. And I was like, yo, but the thing is, I wasn't using Camila as a pawn for clout or for anything like that. It was more like, bro, just because I'm running a fade with you, don't hold this girl career up. She need this record. Let her get a record off.
To be fair, though, if you're Drake and you just clowned Kendrick for doing songs with Maroon 5 and Taylor Swift, and in the middle of that conflict, you drop a Camila Cabello feature, Jesus Christ, what are we talking about?
So in that same breath,
by the way, he also danced to the Taylor Swift
So
song
in that same breath, why are you doing shit you're not proud of?
You're right. Why even do it? Yeah.
I'm not finna, whatever I do, if I fuck up or whatever, I'm gonna own it. You know what I mean? Hey, I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Just cool. I'm not saying that the record is a fuck up, but I'm just saying don't punish somebody else for some shit you got going on. Like, sometimes you gotta fall on your sword.
Right.
Just let her put the record out, bro. Like, you shoot the video, let her do her outside of this shit. But I mean, it wasn't just her. The whole industry kind of shut down for like 2 weeks. Like, nobody's dropping nothing.
Yeah.
Everybody get the fuck out the way. you know what's gonna happen. And then, Dot took his time and cooked his food.
Yeah. It's interesting, too, because the double standard that was being held between the Like That verse being released and how long it took Drake to put anything out compared to when Push-Ups dropped and then the Euphoria release gap, it was like people were all of a sudden extremely forgetful that it took Drake like a month to reply to the Like That verse.
But then, fuck the month. He's been getting poked forever. They've been doing that shit forever. Like,
Yeah, for years. Like all the stuff. Yeah.
It is, that shit don't matter, bro. The thing is, salute to him. Like I said, I've been saying this for the whole, 2.5 months, 3 months. Just make your songs.
Right.
Make
say
your
like,
songs.
like at least he put some shit out. He tried, right?
Make your songs, bro. We're going to play them. You're going to play them. I'm going to play them. We're going to play the records. He makes hits. Make your bops. But don't play the culture game. You're going to lose.
Right.
If you play the culture game, that's like, and one thing I will say this about, I can say this about you. Actually, you're probably the only one that I know that out of the people that I'm thinking of in my head, from people that are white who exist in the space, you can't play the culture game with somebody like me.
Right.
You're gonna lose. You know what I mean? Because you're not culturally potent in that way. And so all I've been saying to him is, bro, do your shit. Do your records, Kev, do your podcast, but don't play the culture game because you're gonna get eviscerated.
Right.
And it's not even gonna be fair. It's not even gonna be a fair fight. And then that's also why it was like, all right, he's had enough. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. We got the #1 record in the world. Like,
I thought it was interesting, like, also bringing, like, saying YG's name on a record. It's like
YG was at the pop out
on stage and what looks to be in the music video.
I don't have a comment on that, but
have you heard that there's this West Coast remix coming?
I don't know nothing about nothing.
Nice. Do you feel like, let me ask you this, Ed, because obviously you've been pushing the West Coast line so hard for so many years, right? How does the West not, how do they make sure to properly take advantage of this current moment? Because to me, it feels like the chance to take it back to 93, 94 and like take the crown, Atlanta's had it for so long.
Hit records. Shit. At the end of the day go in. Shout out to Glorilla. We just need records, and we have to go in with a concerted effort to create undeniable records. I think everybody goes in this, not everybody, but a lot of people, not even just in LA, but in hip hop, a lot of people go in the booth and just
fuck around, punch in, punch out. Oh, yeah, I like that.
And it's like, bro, no, that's not how the magic is made. Sometimes you can get away with that, but more times than not, it's a collaborative effort. There's thought behind it. There's deep meaning.
Intention.
There's a lot of intention that goes into these hit records. And what good is the spotlight if you don't have nothing for it? And so I think right now the initiative for everybody that I've been pushing, I've been on the phone for 2 weeks, nonstop, all day.
Put records out.
Hit records.
Hit records. Yeah.
Hit records. Work together. Bring somebody in the studio who's gonna contest you.
Work outside of your comfort circle,
bro. All of that shit matters, and it's not just for LA. It's for the Bay. It's for Sacramento. It's for San Diego.
Yeah.
Everybody. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I think also too, what I'm noticing is a lot of camaraderie. I just connected two of the homies today who hadn't worked together. Like, hey, hook me up with so and so. Put them on both on FaceTime. Hey, woo, boom. All right, yelling. I'm finna send you something. Let's jump on this, whatever. So that's coming. And then you got, YG just announced just Read Up 3 is dropping. Yep. Mustard just announced his album. He got the song with Travis Scott. Roddy has got a smash in the tuck. It's a lot of shit that's about to happen. Ty, I got Ab-Soul making some. I got Ab-Soul making slaps.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
I think, like you said, like those guys you just mentioned, they gotta deliver, and then it's like the cream rises to the top, right? Yeah. And then Kalen can deliver, and then Zoe can deliver, and then
well, I just talked to Kalen today, and it was the same type of thing, and it's just like I've been talking to Problem, Jason Martin about
Blast, I know Blast shit's coming
about getting in with these younger dudes and helping them with their records, because like if we're being honest, like Jason Martin is one of the best to do it that's ever come out of this.
Chupacabra's crazy too.
Out of this section, from a song crafting perspective, he's one of the best, and so I need him to fuck with these dudes, and I need these dudes to listen to him. It's just what it is.
Yeah, it's like I think that at the end of the day, like understanding the moment too is important. Like you got to understand, so that way you know, like I can't just go to the studio and just do what I've been doing. No, and you can't. Your business has to be right. Right. The homies can't be your publisher. Like, what does he know about publishing? Shout out to 310 Baby too, who obviously has had a smash record before this, and the new record is. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, get your business together, and if you don't, call me. Right. I could help you with that. What do you think about? There was some icon that said that he thought there was a lack of Mexican representation on stage. I'd like to. Who icon? LA Icon. He's a the podcaster. But I also like to point out Coyote. Shout out to the boys from Coyote. They said, I love Coyote. They're fucking. Coyote's literally. I think Coyote's my favorite Latin artists. They're killing it. But they had said that the one person who actually deserved to be up there was up there. Oh, Jeezy. He got hits. He got the records. Yeah. Man. So much respect. To be honest, I don't even know if there's anybody on the Latin side that I respect more than Coyote from a skill standpoint and also from a mentality standpoint. They want to earn everything. They want to earn it all, and they're doing everything the right way. And I just respect them dudes. They bet on themselves. They bet on themselves. Like, it's, to me, those dudes are the epitome of what people should be looking at if you're going to do it yourself. I agree. And so, but yeah, to what they said, I don't care about that. Like that. To me, it's just a lot of people speaking out of ignorance and don't. Also, it was Juneteenth and don't understand. I mean, and the meaning behind that is misconstrued. But whatever. To me, I don't get. I'm no longer. I'm fucking 40 now. I'm not finna argue with nobody on the internet. I'm not finna fight nobody. Hey, if you want to fight me, you got it. You won. You want me to say it on camera? You won. Like I don't give a fuck about that. I pay way too much money in taxes, so I'm just like. I don't got time for that shit. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm not finna be arguing with people about nothing. Whatever it is, you right, you won. And if you want to have a conversation, we can have a conversation. I'll offer some authenticity to you. But I'm not about to go around the world trying to correct everybody on their misconceptions of what it is. I just had another thought in my head. We need an OT Genesis smash right now. We need one. We need one right now. Where's OT at, man? OT is on tour. He got to put that fucking tequila down. OT's on the road too. I think I don't know where he was going too. OT would have been crazy. Yeah, that was. You know what's funny is until right this moment, I was like, oh shit, OT should have came out. I thought about that too, but it's like you can't get it because I remember people like, man, Long Beach. I'm like, bro, if you have 4 hours and Dot's gonna eat up
a good hour and a half of that.
Snoop was on tour, yeah. But yeah.
So you got 2.5 hours from start to finish to curate, and you can't do that. It's
just not. There's just not enough time.
It's logistically impossible. Plus changeover. And a lot of people don't understand how shows work.
Right.
You have to do changeover. You have to do line switching. Like they can't just you have to close your laptop and bring the next DJ up. It don't work like that. And so anyway, long story short, we need an OT record. I know Joe just dropped, or he is dropping. Like, it's some shit coming. I want to be honest. I'm waiting for a new P-Lo record.
Him and Cool John are about to drop Movie 2.
I'm waiting on a new P-Lo record, bro. I need P-Lo to come in and produce a lot of these records for these dudes.
They need some P-Lo beats.
I need P-Lo to come in and produce, and I want to see some cross collaboration from other people. Like, there's this dude, I forgot his name. I wish you remember his name, out of Sacramento. He's fucking dope.
DB about the bag?
No, not. I mean, everybody knows.
DB's dope.
No, it's another guy that's just coming up. Damn, I sent him a book. But anyway, I want to see cross collaborations. I want to see people doing secular, non-secular music. I know you atheist, but Miles Minnick is fucking fire.
I know. I saw you. I never heard of him until you posted that he was at the
Miles Minnick.
Novo.
Miles Minnick.
Where's he from?
He's from the Bay.
Oh shit. Okay. So he's a Christian rapper, right?
He's a Christian rapper, and it's not what you think.
But it's not like overtly like.
It's imagine P-Lo in church. Oh, it's cracking.
I need to listen.
Oh, it's cracking. It's cracking. Shout out to Miles Minnick, bro. Him and Dars, bro. Like, that shit different. So it's like a lot of that.
Russell?
Zoe Sama, he just dropped Stomp, which is going to be, to me, it's going to be a slow burn.
Dope song.
But it's going to be one of them records that's going to go.
Yeah. Dope video.
Yeah, it's going to go. And then, like, I think, based on what I haven't heard, I'm supposed to go pull up on RJ, but I know he got some shit that he about to drop, too. Because he got a big show at the Palladium.
Yeah, I think RJ's the best performer in LA.
I could see that.
I don't think anybody get. I just when RJ hits the stage, bro,
It's a spectacle.
it's just different. Like when he came, I know he was gonna. I knew because I know how much you love RJ, so I just knew he was coming. I was like, I can't wait for RJ to hit that motherfucker. He's gonna turn this bitch up.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to RJ.
Yeah, nah, RJ is like, he's special. I don't know. I think we're in a good place. Like, RJ got a big show at the Palladium coming up, and I think that's gonna be career defining for him if he does it right.
Yeah, I think
Because you got to remember all those, like Nipsey did his Palladium show, the Victory Lap show, and then Roddy did his Palladium show. Blast did his, Dom did his Palladium. Like, I think that Palladium show kind of sets everybody apart.
it's always like a, it's like something you check off. It's like it goes Roxy. Okay, I got my Roxy show. The Palladium's like you said, like the Nip one, the Roddy one. Like I remember the first time Roddy did the Palladium and he was playing the
keys.
That was like so iconic. It was like, oh shit, this is different now.
It's different.
Yeah,
And Blast did 2 nights in a row.
it's crazy.
Dolo.
That shit crazy.
So it's like a lot of these dudes, like Blast is coming too. You know, I like him fucking with Fade. Like,
I'm sure Remble's on the way.
yeah, I like them fucking with different types of music too.
For sure.
I really, to be honest, I really wish, I don't know what the politic is, but I really wish we could do some more black and brown shit. I really want that.
Well, I mean, RJ and Lefty did a dope record.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about across the board.
Oh, you're talking about like
Southern California, Northern California.
Oh yeah.
Like, that shit would be fire, bro.
You know what, dude? That is.
You know what I really want to hear? I want to hear Coyote on some P-Lo shit.
That would be crazy.
Should be crazy, bro. Them rapping ass fools on some P-Lo shit might go crazy. I want to hear Lefty Gunplay on some P-Lo shit.
I agree.
I think we need that, bro. Like the best run we had was when Mustard was running, during Mustard's whole crazy run, and then during that LA to the Bay shit.
Yeah, I think like when you think about that period, there was Mustard, League of Stars, and then P-Lo, and there was just like
HBK.
Yep, HBK gang, and
it was different. The energy was up, and I think and also, and I want to make sure this is conveyed. Stop making slow ass music. Nobody wants to hear that dreary ass, slow ass shit no more. Okay, I'm done with that. So go get with your producers,
right.
get with your engineers, make your shit 90 BPM and up. I'll give you 85. 85 BPM is the slowest record I'm playing moving forward. So it is what it is.
Are there any female MCs in LA that because the
Cuzzos?
Yeah, I know they performed.
The Cuzzos got energy.
Right, that shit was dope.
They got so much energy, and I love that for them because they don't get that look like that.
Right.
And I love seeing the Cuzzos up there. I know Asia got some shit coming. There's this girl, I wish I could remember her name, but she hard. She's a dope ass rapper from here. Fuck.
I still feel like we need like the face, like the female face of LA is up for grabs.
It is up for grabs.
Yeah, because right now I think like on like a California. Oh, actually, you know what? It isn't up for grabs. Technically, it's Doja Cat.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Doja Cat is.
I count Doja Cat like people count Kendrick.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. She's such a brilliant MC, brilliant artist. I mean, her fucking.
Yo, I remember. What's crazy is I remember doing a Two Dope Boys event in 2000. Like, fucking, what year was that?
Two Dope Boys. Shout out to Shake and Mac.
2012 or some shit like that.
That's about right. Yeah, blog era.
I was DJing a Two Dope Boys event, and I'm packing my like Mecca jumps on the turntable, so I'm done. So I'm like I'm about to go, and I'm walking out the door of my bag, and this girl jumps in front of me. She got on these whiskers and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, hey. I'm like, what's up? She's like, I'm Doja. I'm like, what? She's like, what's your name? I said, I'm DJ Head. She's like, well, I'm Doja Cat. I said, what the fuck is a Doja Cat? She said, she said, that's my name. I'm like, okay, what's up? Nice to meet you. She's like, yeah, it's nice to meet you. I'm about to go rap. And
she's a rapper's rapper.
Bro, she was at the Two Dope.
But I'm saying she's like a real head.
Okay, and you would understand this because you've been out here long enough. This event was in like the industrial warehouse downtown, like on the backside of the 3rd Street Bridge, like
crazy,
super underground. Like,
no, Two Dope Boys was like definitely the blog
the first
for the culture.
Fast and Furious type shit,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Just this white girl in there, and she was like rapping her ass off.
Is Doja white or is she mixed?
I don't know.
I think she's mixed, right?
Oh, she's mixed.
The only thing I would
she looked like a white girl at that time.
I want Doja to like just bang LA a little more.
I mean, the thing is, Doja is.
I don't mean bang like on some gang shit, but just like, obviously her song's called Agora Hills, and but I feel like this moment that's happening right now, like somehow she needed to acknowledge it, be a part of it, be on the side of this. I don't know. Like I
don't think she needs to do that.
She don't need to do nothing.
She's her own thing at this
sure.
point. What I would like is for Doja to participate on a level that is beneficial to the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we always talk about like Dot participated and you see the ramifications of that.
She's from the Valley?
She's from the Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the Bootleg Kev Show, man. You already know our number one sponsor, our brothers, our folks, our dogs. Day ones, Odd Socks, man. Go to oddsocksofficial.com. Use that promo code Bootleg right now. Get the most comfortable socks in the entire world. Now, this is what's dope about Odd Socks. Not only do they have the most comfortable socks in the world, they also have the most comfortable underwear in the world. That's all I wear. On my ass is Odd Socks. On my feet is Odd Socks. They got all the crazy licenses. Whatever you're into. I mean, fucking Mountain Dew. Man, they just debuted Coca-Cola recently. Power Rangers, Transformers, man, WWE, whatever you're into, Breaking Bad, they got it. Oddsocksofficial.com, and they're dropping the new slides soon, man. So you can go get the slides, oddsocksofficial.com. Use the promo code Bootleg right now. Save 20% off at checkout, oddsocksofficial.com. Also want to shout out to these guys right here. It's all we're smoking, baby. I'm talking about them King Palms. Oh, my God. Look at all these King Palms. Ooh. Listen, we got so much love for King Palms. I just want to say we're thankful for those guys over there. And when I say that, when I started smoking King Palms, I felt like my smoking experience changed so much because King Palm, it's an organic smoke. It's a tasteful smoke. It is just amazing. And what's dope about King Palms is wherever you're at, you could be at, what flavor is that? What's this? You could be, I don't know, pick a city. King Palms are nearby. Hit your local smoke shop, get some. Hit that 7-Eleven, get some. This flavor's crazy. Oh my God. How about Live Life? This is chocolate? What the hell? What in the hell? Anyway, also what's dope about King Palms, if you go to King Palms right now, go to the website, kingpalm.com. Go to kingpalm.com. Use the promo code Bootleg. Save 50% off. They got so much cool shit at kingpalm.com. Not only can you get your leaves, no tobacco, no nicotine, organic flavor, they also got rolling papers. They also got leaves. Like if you're into, like, look, these are the hemp cones right here. The grape swish hemp cones. Look, whatever you're into, 50% off, ladies and gentlemen. KingPalm.com. Ah! You know what? We're not going to open those. Shout out to King Palm. Let's get back to the interview. Well, it's funny too because like you and I had always kind of like, I wouldn't say butt heads, but we're on different sides of the Tyler the Creator fandom.
Yeah. I apologize to Tyler.
No, I saw you, but like, you know, I've been fucking with him since, you know, the Odd Future Wolfgang, but you're very, when you start talking about crazy shit and the devil and all the wild shit that Tyler used to talk about when he was Odd Future and Wolfgang Kill 'Em All and all that shit, it just wasn't for you.
I log off.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And, but, you know, there'd always kind of been like, you know, these like separate LAs on the hip hop side where you would like look at like,
I think it's like 4 different LAs.
There's like the guys like the Internet and Tyler and then there would be the RJs and the more, you know, street centric sides where politics are very prevalent in the imagery and the music. Mm-hmm. Then would you say like the Fairfax kind of wave, which was Odd Future, Casey Veggies, Dom.
Well, Dom's from Lamar Park, but same.
So what are the other two then?
So I would look at it as like you got like the Lamar Park. Actually, I would say it's 3. I would say it's the street guys. Mm-hmm. You got the hipster crowd, which is that like
Tyler,
all that kind of shit, and then you have the other, and the other would be like a Doja Cat,
right?
She don't really fit into either
Would you
one.
consider
I look at Doja Cat
Kendrick as the other?
Nah, that is from Compton for real.
No, I know, but I'm saying like in terms of like, because I always like when I think
you're looking at it as a sound thing,
true,
and an imagery thing. Don't look at it like that. That's the trick. That's how he got him.
Right.
You have to look at it like Dot has always made references in his music that ties him to the community he comes from.
For sure.
Same thing. Roddy sounds like he's from the South. Roddy wear a Dickie suit on the Grammy Awards and says "cuz" in his music.
Right.
You know what I mean? In 2020.
Right.
Culture is prevalent in both of those people, regardless of what it is that you're hearing.
Right.
I look at it differently because Doja, you can look at her shit and not know where the fuck she's from.
Facts.
She's culturally ambiguous, which works for her. Mm-hmm. She's from here. We claim her 100%. But Tyler's from here. We claim him 100%. But you can look at their art and not know where they're from.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? So, and even Tyler has culture in his music.
For sure.
The way he dances and shit. Mm-hmm. Oh, Tyler's the LA nigga.
Yeah.
But I look at it differently just because the way Doja is, she became a pop star immediately. And then she had to remind you niggas that she could rap.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, this last album, she had to tell you.
Hey, I can rap too. Y'all got Doja fucked up.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, Doja can rap.
I think she's, honestly, yeah.
Doja's fucking over a lot of girls.
And
from a rap perspective.
A lot of men, too.
I was about to say that. To keep it a buck.
Shit.
Doja's kind of fucking over a lot of you dudes.
For sure. I was going to ask you, Roddy, obviously Roddy's somebody who's one of my favorite artists, please excuse me for being antisocial. I remember he gave us that title. Where we're at? We're at Street Fest.
Real Street Fest.
I feel like he's an introvert. And I feel like the pandemic, I'm not sure the pandemic affected somebody more than maybe the trajectory that Roddy was on in terms of him not necessarily being able to get in that full festival season when The Box was the #1 song in the world. Yeah. And, think about it, December 2019 is when the album dropped. Yeah. And in March 2020 is when we shut down.
Everything done.
And, I know there was multiple versions of his second album. I know that you've been really close with Roddy and helping him in the studio and stuff. And just like, it feels good to see. I feel like Roddy's back in his bag for real. Confidence wise.
Confidence wise, yes. But Roddy you got to think. It's like, I don't want to equate him like this. They're going to probably not like this on the internet, but it's kind of like when I talk to my big homies about Mike Tyson, and you take a 19, 20-year-old and you give him $10 million or $20 million or whatever it is. It's like, here. It's like, yo, I'm 19.
Right.
I'm 21. Roddy was really rich at 21 years old.
Crazy.
Like in real life rich.
Right.
Not like small rich.
Big rich.
Big rich.
Yeah.
At 21. So it's like, what were you doing at 21 years old?
Fuck, I don't know, man.
You know what I mean? Like, so I want people to just visualize that, right? And I don't want to give a number, but let's say you're 21 years old, somebody gives you $20 million.
What are you gonna do?
What do you do? Do you be like, you know what? I need to get focused and make my next album.
Right.
I need to get in here and take this shit serious. Like, you're like, yo. Then you got to deal with family. You got to deal with the homies. You got to deal with everything coming at you a mile a minute. So when I've had these conversations with him, he just like I just talked to him. Actually, he called me yesterday. We talked for about half an hour yesterday, and he was just saying like how much he appreciates our conversations, and he's grown as a man. You know, at this point, he's a father.
Right.
Like, he's you know, you had your kid young. You know what I mean?
18, yeah.
So he's a dad now,
Right.
and he's like learning how to be a man, and he's dealing with the homies, and he's dealing with politics on a different level where he got all of these white people handling his business affairs. He got businesses in Miami. He got businesses over here. He has businesses that are making a lot of money every year,
Right.
that are outside of music.
People that you don't even like, we don't even know about. Yeah.
You don't even know about these businesses. And so I think his mentality is just different at this point, which translates into the music. And that's what people are getting right now. Like I told him a couple years ago, like, you got to let these people in. You got to let people in. It's only so long you could do the jewelry and the cars and shit like that. People want to know who the fuck you are. People want to know what you stand on, where you stand. You know what I mean? Like, that's been a big criticism with Drake for all these years. We don't know where he stands on anything. You don't know how he feels about Black Lives Matter. You don't know how he feels. You don't know what shit. You don't know how he feels.
That's what I've been saying for years.
You don't know how he feels about Trump.
He doesn't have an opinion on shit.
On nothing.
Except for these bitches.
And so my point is, exactly. And so my point is, I was telling Roddy, like, you got to let us in. I know, but they don't know.
Right.
And so I think he did that with Survivor's Remorse. Like, he
Great
dropped
record.
Phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, because he didn't even let me see the video until, like, we were on the phone at 4 a.m. before it dropped. And he sent me the video maybe like, I don't know, 4 hours before it came out. I think it came out like 6 a.m. or whatever. I mean, something like that. And he sent me the link. We were on the phone because he was blowing my phone. And it was early as fuck, like 4 a.m. or some shit. I'm like, bro, what's up? Everything good? I thought something happened. He like, yeah, man, I'm just, like, we were just having a private conversation, but he sent me the video. I'm like, I called him right back. This is what the fuck I've been talking about. When you listen to the song, it's cool. It's a good song. When you watch the video, you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a different impact. And to me, that was important for him specifically. We know where Kendrick is from. Right. We know where he's standing. We know you could pretty much extrapolate what he's on.
Well, I think, too, like, Feed the Streets, early Roddy, it was very, like...
This is where he's from.
Yeah, you got it.
But you don't know how he feels.
Right.
You don't know what he thinks.
Right.
You know where he's from, and the imagery is there. You can see his homies, his projects, but you don't know what's on his mind.
Right.
And I always try to explain to artists, you have to figure out a way to translate that to people who love your music, or to garner new fans. Because even when we do interviews, we don't talk about just the album. I want to talk to you about fatherhood.
Right.
I want to talk to you about, like, when we had Offset and or whoever come in, let's talk to you about being a dad.
Right.
Because if I don't like your fucking album, I might connect to you as being a dad.
Right. It might not be about the music.
It might not be about the music.
And a lot of people nowadays, like, they become fans of artists before they hear their music. Like, I have so many people, yo, I love Mexican OT, man. I saw him on your podcast, or I saw him on Joe Rogan, or I saw him on Homegrown. And then they go to the music.
And so I think with Roddy, that's where he's at now. Is he's man enough, and he's being transparent enough to allow the public into his life. Mm-hmm. And that's why you see, like, him having his kid, or you see,
and he's like one of the best song makers of the last, I don't even know. Like, I know people didn't like his second album, but there's a lot to love on that album. And
you know what I just realized, I don't remember who I was talking to, but like, Roddy makes jamming ballads.
That's fair.
And I was like, damn.
Late at night.
I never thought about it like that, but he makes jamming ass ballads, and he makes ballads that are palatable in this climate. And I was like, damn, I never thought about it.
That's real. For people who don't know, it was said that Dr. Dre was not too keen of you and your criticism of the Compton album. Mm-hmm. Did you get to see Dre?
I stayed out his way.
You stayed out of his way.
Yeah, I didn't. That wasn't the time or the place. I would love to have a conversation with him. But.
How important do you think Dr. Dre and Snoop are to this moment,
It's insurmountable.
Yeah.
You don't get none of this without Snoop and Dre. You don't get. I'm back. Let me back up.
We got a new Dog Pound album that just came out. Death Row's active.
Shout out to the Dog Pound album, bro. I was so relieved to hear that because it was what people expected, but it starts slowly turning into not what people like. That DJ Premier record,
Right.
was crazy
For sure.
Like people think like Corrupt is like a really great MC,
God level MC.
bro. I was like.
For sure.
And people got Corrupt fucked up.
They got him fucked up for
But
sure.
they got Daz fucked up too, but Corrupt is different. So I'd love to see that. But let me back up. Let's take Snoop out of it. You don't get none of this shit without Dr. Dre.
For sure.
Nothing. Nothing moves without Dr. Dre. You don't get NWA. You don't get Easy. You don't get
Nothing.
Death Row.
Nothing.
Nothing. And so
Biggest hip hop tree ever.
let's go ahead and remove Snoop, and it's all roads lead to Dre.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre's a fucking genius.
Yeah. I just hope that this moment also motivates them to obviously Snoop is active, you know.
I love Snoop because Snoop participates in the culture.
Yeah, him and Quick are on tour right now in Canada, I think. But in terms of like, you know, Dre, it's like, shit, man. You was in the Houdini video. You just popped up on stage with Kendrick.
By the way, I like that Eminem song.
Yeah, you and a lot of fucking dudes who look like me that are fucking post 40.
Yeah.
That song sucks.
I like it.
I mean, you know what?
No. Let me rephrase.
He's put out worse songs.
I like the video.
I like so the problem that I had with
Let me back up. I love the video,
the problem I had with the song is I heard it on its own.
without the video.
And so when you just listen to it, and then when I saw the video, I was like, oh, I get it. It was like, oh, this old version of him came through the portal.
He's parodying himself.
I get it. And honestly, it is a catchy ass hook. It is a catchy hook, and he's rapping his ass off on the song. It is. I hope that this, you know, back in the day, Eminem used to set up every album with "My Name Is" or "Just Lose It" or one of these goofy singles, and I hope that this means we're gonna get an amazing body of work from Eminem, because I actually like the. Do you remember when you and I were in the studio and the Eminem fucking track list dropped, and I just wanted to break everything because I was just so tired, bro. Eminem had a decade of just putting out less than favorable music, in my humble opinion, but Music to Be Murdered By was great.
I haven't been a fan of none of the Eminem stuff.
The last album was good. Music to Be Murdered By was actually like fucking great.
No. Eminem is an elite MC.
For sure.
I wasn't a fan of the music, but
Like that Revival album is one of the worst album sets.
I
ever
actually would
been
love
released.
to hear. I would love to get a sneak peek of this new album.
Yeah, me too, man. Hopefully, you know, I just want everybody to be inspired to drop. Like, okay, cool. You know, like shout out to Muggs. Muggs been working like low key with like TF and Jay Worthy and you know, shit, let's do a fucking Cypress Hill album. Let's fucking, you know, we just got the DJ Quick and Jason Martin album. There's people, motherfuckers are working.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's also embracive too, because there was a whole time period where hip hop is an age cap, and you have to get out the way. But now it's like, nah, bro.
And even on like on the Mexican side, like I feel like Mexican hip hop in LA has never been stronger. Like it's great right now.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about Coyote, Lefties. You know, for however you feel about Lefty, Lefties makes dope music. And
Nah, it's a
he's
market
talented.
for everything. I want to see like
Peso.
I want to see Peso. I want to see the OGs really embrace the new producers. I think that's going to make a world of difference.
For sure.
Because that's one thing that I do give credit to the East Coast and even the South. I guess they do the same thing. You will hear, you know, like 50 Cent work with a new producer
All the time.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you'll see that's a thing.
Right.
That's not really a thing out here. Like
Also, though, I wouldn't mind the young kids working with like Battle Cat or like.
I want the same thing too, but at the same time,
Because I think Desi Hollow has done a really good job of he's from Oceanside, but he's making classic West Coast music, and it's like working for him.
yeah,
You know.
But you got dudes like Doggy Style, like
Right.
like all these different people. I would love to see just the blending of it, because
Right.
it's only going to make everybody better.
For sure.
I need my guy Mars. I need him to do his part. I need him to get in with Loaded Great.
Right.
I need these things to happen in order for the progression of the
Shout out to
sound.
Big Hit. Shout out to Hit Boy too.
Big Hit. Big Hit is a prime example of what the fuck I'm talking about. They got 4 songs. Big Hit got, I think, like 4 songs with Zoe Osama.
Crazy. Big Hit's crazy.
It's like, bro, like
And he got out of prison and got to work.
Got cracking.
Got it cracking. Kendrick album coming?
I guess so.
I sure would hope so, right?
I mean, I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, I would assume so.
You in the group chat, right?
I'm not in the group chat that you're in.
I'm not in no group chat.
Yeah, I'm in a group chat with you. Whatever number I have for Dave Free has been green bubbles for like 6 years.
Nah, shout out to Dave, man. Like, again, I wouldn't be surprised if we got something soon, but I don't know. That's not me. I don't.
It also was dope. Let me ask you this, Ed. How dope was it to see? Because it felt like this moment pushed the TDE shit together. I'm not saying that it was like fractured, but you know, Kendrick left, did the PG Lang thing, but this moment to see everybody back together and saying, you know what, I know I might not be on the label no more, but this is where it started.
I'm glad you brought that up because this brings me back to what we started with, and that's culture. Cultural nuance matters. Relationships matter. There's never been a fracture in that way.
Right.
It's just, hey, we want to see the homie do his own thing. Cool. Now, this is where culture matters. Let's say there is a thing. There wasn't, but let's say there is a thing.
Right.
Let's say that Dot doesn't fuck with TDE and vice versa.
Right.
Top don't fuck with Dot. Let's say that, like, hypothetically speaking, right? If you're an outsider, you can't come over here and pick on that. We can pick on that.
We can, but you can't.
You can't.
Right.
That's what people don't understand about cultural nuance and where we come from. If I have a brother and he's special needs, I can make fun of my brother all day.
But you can't.
You can't make fun of my little brother.
Because, yeah, that's a problem.
That's why culture matters, and that's why being authentically from those things matter, because if you don't, then you violate said things, and now you get violated.
And then you look stupid.
Then you look crazy.
Yeah, and now you're Ja Rule, but just much more famous.
I like Ja Rule.
Hey, man, I liked the New York. I'm from New York. Mesmerized. All that shit was cool. But just never was the same again, was it? Anyway.
I wouldn't have Ja Rule produce my festival, but I fuck with Ja Rule.
For sure. I love Ja. Yeah. You know, but these things weren't the same after Back Down and I Smell Pussy and, you know, all that good stuff. Anyway, Head, I appreciate you pulling up. I'm about to piss my pants. Effective immediately Sundays on
5 p.m.
Sirius.
On Sirius XM Hip Hop Nation. But
5 p.m. Pacific time.
5 p.m. Yeah. You can also find Effective immediately on the YouTube, podcast, all that shit.
Homegrown Radio still going.
Homegrown is still going.
Are you going to put out any? I feel like now you got to put an album out. You've always talked about it.
Stay tuned.
DJ Head album on the way. That was the Look at Salas. DJ Head album on the way. Lots going on, man. And then this whole time we didn't even talk about your show with Elliott Wilson and Jeremy.
Oh, the bigger picture. Make sure you tap into the bigger picture. Elliott Wilson, the GOAT.
I appreciate you holding the GOAT accountable for his fucking 30-year-long bias against everything that's
not Drake.
Yeah,
Drake ain't been around for 30 years.
No, but I mean not even that. Just the East Coast bias that we always are talking about.
He's West Coast Wilson now.
And now he's West Coast Wilson.
Yeah, shout out to Elliott Wilson, man. Go get a bar, the bigger picture, Hip Hop DX, Up Rocks. Shout out to the family over there. We're building something real special.
I saw your conversation, and they were saying, is it crazy not to consider Kendrick a top 10? I think...
It's insane.
No.
Not to consider him top 10?
I'm saying number 1 is either Jay-Z or Kendrick Lamar, and that's it.
That's the conversation.
And if you don't like that, suck my dick.
I mean, I don't understand.
Create your own fucking podcast.
I don't understand why that's even a conversation.
It's Kendrick.
It wasn't even on the show docket. I'm like, why are we even talking about this?
I had him at about 5, but I'm like, okay, he dismantled a whole generation's GOAT, whatever, and never was my GOAT.
I don't have a comment on that.
But just surgically picked him apart like, oh man, it was just rough. It was like, the Clippers of the 90s going against like the Lakers of the 80s or something. Like it was just, it was like Michael Olowokandi. He turned Drake into Michael Olowokandi, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a basketball reference not a lot of people are going to get. Number 1 overall pick, went to the Clippers, big old butt. Kwame Browned his ass.
Right.
Kobe to Kwame.
Right.
Anyway.
Oh, I got a question for you. Then we'll wrap. So you do radio every day. We can't curse on the radio.
Correct.
Like we can't say fuck.
Yes.
So if you know us, if you're playing a song on the radio and the word fuck is coming up, and you know it's coming up, you've said it in your mind like this word is coming up, so I have to take that out, right?
Right.
Okay. So the same thing will be applied to the N word. If you know the N word is coming up, then you've said it in your brain to mute it out loud. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
See, that's what I thought. Jeremy Heck doesn't think so. He thinks that he can mute N words in his head.
So he says it out of his mouth.
No, he doesn't say it at all. But he said that he can't mute. He said that he doesn't say it at all, even in his brain.
He's lying.
That's what I said. I said you have to say the N word in your mind in order to stop yourself.
Yeah, while I'm rapping songs, I definitely self-edit. But like,
you have to say the word in your mind to self-edit.
The N-word's flying in my head. I'll tell you what you're not going to tell me when Trinidad James All Gold Everything is on, the N-word ain't flying in my head. Like, what are we talking about? Tell his Canadian ass to stop being so soft and stand on business, dog. He's like, no, you don't understand.
Flying around, man.
He's like, you don't understand. It's just a negative in my head. My head doesn't compute the word. I'm so woke. I'm so woke. The head, it doesn't even, no.
Don't work like that.
That's not how it works. DJ Head, thank you, brother.
West Coast.
Boom.